It started the moment I found a bright red violation notice nailed to my front door, one that accused me of breaking a rule I had never even heard of. By sundown, 3 more had appeared, each one harsher than the last, each one signed by the exact same HOA board member who refused to speak to me face to face. Neighbors who usually waved started avoiding eye contact. Security cameras I didn't install appeared facing my home. And every time I stepped outside, I could feel someone watching, waiting for me to slip. But everything changed the moment I discovered what the HOA was really hiding behind their sudden crusade. So here's the question: how far would you go when your own neighborhood turns against you? My name is Adam, and until everything went crazy, I lived a pretty normal life in Willow Creek Meadows, a calm, quiet, picture-perfect suburban neighborhood. The kind you see in magazines and real estate ads. Clean sidewalks, trimmed hedges, families walking their dogs, barbecues on Saturday evenings. I bought the house expecting peace, a place to breathe again after years of working double shifts. I just wanted quiet. I just wanted to build something stable. Most of my neighbors were friendly, at least in that polite, suburban way where people smile more than they speak. I kept to myself mostly, fixing up my yard, turning my garage into a small workshop, and walking my old dog, Max, every evening. My life wasn't chaotic. It wasn't messy. It was simple. Predictable. Good. But even during those calm days, there were warning signs. The HOA board always seemed involved. Too involved. You couldn't change a doorknob without filling out a form. You couldn't park more than one car in your driveway without getting a reminder email. They were always there, watching, measuring, noting. Still, I played by the rules. Or at least I thought I did. Little did I know, the storm brewing behind closed doors was about to hit me head-on. The first real shift happened when the HOA elected a new president, Sandra Whitmore. A woman with a smile that never touched her eyes and a voice that could slice through concrete. She walked through the neighborhood like she owned every blade of grass. And from the moment she took office, she had a problem with me. I still don't know why. Was it because I didn't attend her mandatory meetings? Because I didn't instantly repaint my mailbox when she sent suggestions? Or because she wanted to make an example out of someone, and I looked like the easiest target? The setup to my downfall began quietly. I noticed unfamiliar cars driving slowly by my property. My mailbox started getting HOA newsletters twice a week, each one highlighting increased enforcement. My security camera caught someone stepping into my yard late at night, flashlight in hand. Max would bark at random shadows, and every morning I stepped outside, it felt like something had been moved, just slightly, but enough to unsettle me. I should have trusted that feeling. Because the real nightmare started next. The rising action began with the first official violation notice, bright red, bold letters, slapped right on my front door like a warning shot. Unapproved structure on property. What structure? I didn't build anything. I didn't even change a light bulb that month. I called the HOA, but they acted confused. We'll look into it. They never did. The next day, another violation. Then another. And another. 4 violations in 3 days. Each one more ridiculous than the last. Grass too long. Improper fence height. Unauthorized vehicle. Trash can placement. I measured my grass, it wasn't long. My fence was exactly what the HOA approved when I moved in. The unauthorized vehicle was literally my own car parked in my own driveway. And my trash can? It was exactly where they told me to put it last year. I filed complaints. I called the county. I contacted a lawyer. Every door felt like it slammed shut. The HOA had connections, and they weren't afraid to use them. Then came the bombshell. The HOA claimed they had photographic proof that I had built an illegal extension on my property, something that never existed. The proof was a blurry picture of a structure that wasn't even my home. Wrong angle. Wrong house. Completely made up. They tried to force a lien on my home. They tried to force me out. But what they didn't know was this. I wasn't backing down. I started documenting everything: dates, times, photos, videos, witness statements. I dug through HOA documents, old emails, archived minutes from board meetings. Every night, I searched for the one thing that would expose their entire scheme. And then I found it. Hidden deep in old HOA files was a development plan, one that showed the board was lobbying to tear down a row of older homes to build luxury rental units. And guess whose property was right in the center of their future expansion zone? Mine. That was why they wanted me gone. That was why the violations never stopped. That was why I was being harassed from every direction. I wasn't breaking rules. I was standing on land they wanted. And Sandra was willing to destroy anyone who stood in her way. The climax came the night of the HOA emergency meeting, one they tried to hold without telling me. But I showed up anyway, with evidence in hand, cameras rolling, and neighbors behind me who were tired of being bullied too. Sandra tried to shut me down. She tried to scream me out of the room. She tried to dismiss every piece of evidence I presented. But then I dropped the final blow. A recording, taken legally, of her telling another board member, "We'll push him until he snaps. Then we'll have grounds to remove him permanently." The entire room went silent. Board members stared. Neighbors gasped. Sandra's face drained of color. That was the turning point. The county inspector I contacted showed up mid-meeting. The lawyer who originally ignored me, now seeing the evidence, walked in behind him. The cameras I brought captured every second. Sandra tried to run the meeting, but it collapsed around her. And when the inspector ordered a full audit of the HOA, exposing years of fraud, favoritism, and misuse of funds, her entire empire fell apart. The resolution came slowly, but powerfully. Sandra was removed. The board was dissolved. Fines were erased. The lien threat vanished. And for the first time in months, my home felt like a home again. Neighbors who once avoided me came forward, apologizing. They admitted they were scared of crossing Sandra. Others revealed they had been fined too, wrongfully. Many joined together to rebuild the HOA from scratch under new leadership, with actual transparency. As for me, I repaired the damage, inside and out. Max started sleeping soundly again. The surveillance cameras were removed. Peace finally returned to Willow Creek Meadows. But the impact went deeper than that. I learned how dangerous power can become when it goes unchecked. I learned how fast a peaceful neighborhood can turn into a battlefield. And I learned that sometimes, the only thing standing between justice and corruption is the person willing to fight. So here's my final message. In any community, in any neighborhood, anywhere, never let fear silence you. Because bullies don't win when you fight back. They win when you give up. And I didn't give up. Not then. Not now. Not ever.